Hello, adventurers! Welcome to the Book of Lore, the Devlog series where we explore Fahrul and talk about what you can expect from For the King 2 next year. I'm Rogan, the community manager on the For the King series, and today we're going to talk about 4-player co-op and the brand new revamped combat system. The original For the King launched in, 2018? It's been over 4 years now.
When we were making the first game, 3 players felt right. We spent a lot of time wondering if we should add that 4th player, but it always ended up breaking the experience we were trying to build. 3 was just a more manageable number for us then.
But now we're bigger, we're more experienced, and honestly, we're just a little more wild this time around. We are now ready to take on by far the most requested For the King 2 feature, 4-player co-op. We've managed to make a lot of the more cooperative elements of For the King 2 feel a lot like the first game, just with an extra player.
Sharing loot and gold works very similarly, navigating the overworld feels right, and the overall tactical gameplay is sharper than ever.
We've done a lot to improve and revamp these things, but there'll still be this nice familiarity to them.
You're now able to split your party more effectively in For the King 2. With 3 players, it always felt very risky to go in separate directions. That risk is still there now, but with an extra player, you can be a little more intentional about it. There's a lot of versatility in the way that you can mix and match different classes and characters. We just want you to be able to cover more ground while remaining competitive in battle.
The challenges we first saw with adding that extra player, they're all still there, but the IronOak team is well equipped to handle those things now.
We've had to reinvent HUDs to account for the extra information we're showing on screen. We're also thinking hard about multiplayer downtime, which may now be extended with an additional player. Because of this, we're giving the player a little more freedom during the off turns by allowing you to browse your inventory, read stats, and purchase items. It's also important for us to keep any UI driving the action to be synced across all 4 players, so that they can discuss options without having to narrate what's happening on their screen to one another.
One of the biggest challenges with adding an extra player is how it impacts combat. So instead of just shoving an extra player onto the screen, we've entirely revamped it. One of the first things you'll notice about the For the King 2 combat improvements are the 2 battle lanes.
The battlefield now consists of 2 4x2 battle grids, one on your side and one on your opponent's.
Including multiple rows on the battlefield has added this concept of empty space, and with that, a whole bunch of new options when it comes to decision making.
The back row provides an evasion bonus, while the front allows characters with shields to guard those behind them. Positioning is now just as important as anything else. Attackers can now target empty space to maximize splash damage, and defenders can spread themselves apart to negate splash patterns of incoming attacks.
The empty spaces also allow players to move out of harm's way or reposition to gain a tactical advantage.
Some attacks are spatially dependent now. These can only be performed from certain rows, so different action options will be available or unavailable depending on where your character is positioned. Some abilities now provide bonuses to certain squares on the grid. Move a character to that square to take advantage of the bonus. We've also added push and pull actions to combat. Push actions will move enemies in the front row to the back, and pull actions will bring enemies in the back row to the front. You can really mess with your enemies' plans by moving them around to give yourself the upper hand. Omit opponent attack options, bring them out of protection, move them into a splash damage zone, or cancel any stat bonuses.
The battle grid allows you to approach combat in more ways than ever, both in how you attack, but also how you defend. We cannot wait for you to try this out next year. Thank you all so much for the kind words, encouragement, and anticipation. The team is working really hard on For the King 2, and things are just gonna get spicier as we get closer to launch. If you haven't already, make sure you add For the King 2 to your Steam wishlist, and keep checking back for more Book of Lore videos. We've got a bunch more planned for you. Thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you soon, adventurers.